Welcome, beautiful royal family. Welcome to all of Israel to another episode of TRF News. I am your brother, Mike Maliss. Family, I'm coming to you tonight with a mission. I have a mission. Many of you are going to think that I'm crazy with the mission that I have, but sometimes you need to introduce a little crazy to get the job done. You see, family, tonight, my mission is to unite all of Israel. I want to make something very clear. I'm about to enter into a territory that is very taboo, because all of us know that it is not a good idea to mention other Israelite camps' names. Now that, for us, should be absolutely embarrassing. Why? We speak as being the greatest nation on earth. God speaks about his Israelites being the greatest nation on earth, but there is so much hatred within Israel. It's pathetic. And it is time that somebody called it out amongst all of us. I am going to break the taboo. I'm about to break the taboo tonight because, as y'all already know, there's a whole bunch of turmoil and wind. There's volcanic eruptions when one Israelite mentions another Israelite's name, because there's so much hatred and animosity within Israel that when them other nations call us a hate group, I'm afraid to say they're right. But the hatred is not against them. We all know God hates them. But for Israel, for us, within Israel, all we do is hate each other. That has to stop. How do we know that? Just from the recent fights, past fights, online arguing and all that amongst camp members. It's time for all of that to stop. It's time for all of that to cease. I'm about to do something right now. And I would hope that each and every last person that's watching this, if you are in the camp, that you would take this and forward this to whoever your camp member may be. Because I want all of us to be able to look at this here and all of us to come to a mutual understanding. And that is that Israel is out of order. All of us are. When we recognize that we are, we can all look at each other and begin to make a fix. Because right now we're all broken. The fact that if one of us was to mention another Israelite man's name or his camp, that there would be an argument that would turn into long-term beef, that is absolutely horrible. How must the Most High be looking down on us right now, being like, I am so disappointed in them. But we're going to change that disappointment. I'm about to call some kings' names right now. And I'm coming to you, brothers, humbly and respectfully. King Nathaniel, IUIC. King Zabak, the house of Israel. King Sakari, the house of Sakari. King Yehenna, ISUPK. I'm reaching out to you, brothers, right now. I'm asking for a call of truce amongst all of us. None of us have ever been in a room together, just us, to talk and have a discussion. While all of the other nations, every month, even all the way down to the local district, they have weekly meetings with people that represent us in those meetings, and none of us are present. And you know why? Because those people should not be representing us, kings. We should be the ones meeting. And many of you right now are probably sitting there being like, who does this nigga think he is, thinking that he can come and rally us up? I'm your brother. I'm an Israelite. I have the 100% authority to do that, just like you do. To talk to the kings and say, brothers, we have to do something else than what we've been doing. Again, I come to you, brothers, humbly, and I'll come to you respectfully. Kings, why haven't we done that yet? All of us. You see, there's been so much focus on the differences between the camps and not enough on the similarities. So let's talk about one of the similarities, the thing that should unite every last one of us that I just mentioned. At one point, the Most High sent a signal to our nodes that we were to create families. I will never disrespect Israel by saying organization. We created families. The one similarity between all of us is that the Father sent us that signal to our nodes. Now, the next similarity is that all of us, we heard him and accepted. The third similarity is that we all put our passion to the forefront of our work ethic and created these families. We all did the same thing. That is the one thing that we can all stand on together. Then the next similarity is that the Father chose us to do it. Kings, there's too much similarities between us for us to be arguing. Now, just based on that, please allow me to jump to the scriptures, Kings. I am not bringing these scriptures out to try to insult any one of you kings. I know that you know this upside down and sideways. I know that, but I want to make sure that y'all understand that I'm going directly by the book. I'm not coming with an opinion. I'm coming from a direction. And kings, please listen to me. This is all coming out of love. If we can please go to the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. And it reads, gather yourselves together. Yea, gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the shaft, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Now, kings, we have a time frame that we have to do this. Let's do it. What am I asking each and every last one of you to do? As of right now, I'm asking you, kings, would you be willing to meet a round table discussion of us leaders in Israel? Would you be willing to? No one is saying that we all have to enter a room and become best friends within the first 5 minutes. That is unrealistic. We know of the animosity that is between some of us, but all of that can be squashed. It has to be squashed. Why? Because the Father said we have to come together. We must, brothers. We must. And we only have a certain amount of time before we can do that. We just read it. What do you say? But if you need more convincing, let's get some more. Let me read verses 3 and 4. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. So really quick, for all of Israel, let's get the definition of meek, because most people have a misunderstanding when it comes to that word. They think meek means weak, and it doesn't. Meek does not mean weak in any way, shape, form, or fashion. It does not. The definition of meek, Israel, here it is. Quiet, gentle, and easily imposed on, submissive. I'm asking you, kings, according to what the scriptures say to be meek. And at least just think about it. Why can we not do this? There's only one thing keeping us from making this happen, and that's you saying no. That's it. We can do this. Please allow me to read verse 4. For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation. They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up. Now, kings, we all know right now that that's happening over there right now, at this moment. This is a time of action, brothers. Are you brothers willing to do this? What do I need to do to convince all of you that this is a good idea? I need y'all to picture it. I need you to use your brain, your big brain. How monumental would it be for us to walk into a room and strategize? Even before the strategy, just for us to be able to walk into the room and shake each other's hands and stand in unison for the one common cause, to usher in the beginning of Jacob. I'm all for it. How about you? But for some reason, I feel that you brothers may need some more convincing. So let's just do this. Let's go to the book of Revelation chapter 7, and please go down to verse 4. The book of Revelation chapter 7 and verse 4. Let's see. And I heard the number of them which were sealed. And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. Kings, that's us. Of the tribe of Judah was sealed 12,000. The tribe of Judah, kings. Each and every last one of us that I just mentioned. We already know that this time is coming. We know it, we feel it. But it's the tribe of Judah. As far as my understanding, all 5 of us are from the tribe of Judah. And not only are all 5 of us from the tribe of Judah, but the 5 of us, we all have families. Kings, we already have an army. The only thing that we have to do now is start to put our armies together. Why? Because Judah. Let's continue. Let's get some more. I'm going to read. Let's now go to the book of Genesis, chapter 49, please. The book of Genesis, chapter 49, and let's please drop down to verse 8. I already know y'all are familiar with this, but just to be reassured. Genesis chapter 49 and verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey. My son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? The scepter shall not depart from Judah. That's us. Nor a lawgiver from between his feet until Shiloh come. And unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Kings, I'm going to call your names again. King Nathaniel, King Zabak, King Sakari, King Yahenna. That's us. This is our time. This is for us to do. Let's do it. Let's do it. Kings, can we do this? What would prevent you from saying no? I ask that question. I ask that question in front of all of Israel. What would prevent you, kings, from saying no? To carry out the Father's wishes. I am more than willing. Let's do this. Let's do it. All over this country, 5 days a week, monthly, quarterly, yearly, all of these other nations meet to discuss the things that are going to happen on this planet. None of us are represented there. I want to make Israel very, very aware of that. None of us are represented there at all. Why are they out there having their conferences? And yet, within Israel, we haven't had one. I'm not talking about the events that we put on for all the people that we like and respect. I'm not talking about our own individual things. I'm talking about us putting together a conference. Now, many of us already know how difficult that is, and we're about to get a video here in a second. But we all know how difficult that is. So without any further ado, I want to show you a video. I just want all of Israel to see the difficulty within Israel. How they treat one of us is how they will treat all of us. So without any further ado, family, here you go.
You might recognize the group of black separatists that occasionally gathers in Raleigh's Moore Square. That group has ties to a nationally known hate group. And this weekend, they will hold their annual Passover celebration at the Raleigh Convention Center. WRL's Joe Fisher is live in downtown Raleigh. And Joe, the gathering is raising some concerns.
Deborah, this group is widely viewed as anti-Semitic and anti-white. The city tells me they expect about 500 members here at the convention center this weekend. Today we found out that the contract for this event was finalized more than 4 months ago, back in November. But the city, along with the mayor, say they just found out exactly who rented this space earlier this week.
Your past is your protection, supposed to be.
On the streets of downtown Raleigh, you'll find members of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, or the ISUPK.
You cannot be free without your oppressor being destroyed.
Let me tell y'all something, brothers and sisters.
The group's leader is Commanding General Yohanna, seen in this YouTube video touring the Raleigh Convention Center. It's where the ISUPK will hold its annual Passover celebration on Saturday.
Convention Center, taking it to the next level, worldwide.
The group is part of the Radical Hebrew Israelites, which the Southern Poverty Law Center identifies as a hate group for its anti-Semitic, anti-white, and anti-LGBT views, and chapters that, quote, perpetuate the anti-Semitic belief that so-called Jews have stolen their identity and birthright.
They call us a hate group because we turn around and say the white man is the devil for the things that he's done. The word devil just means adversary.
It really is deeply upsetting.
Rabbi Eric Solomon with Beth Meyer Synagogue in Raleigh is disturbed about this city-owned convention center renting space to the ISUPK.
I mean, if this was, God forbid, the KKK or other hate groups that are more widely known, I can't imagine this would be allowed to happen.
The city says the space was rented by a third party, writing in a statement, "We were not aware of any relationship between TGF Solutions Incorporated and the referenced group, and the event was handled in the same manner as all other bookings. Our expectation is that the group will adhere to all contract terms."
It appears there's some loophole here that needs to be looked at more closely.
Rabbi Solomon says he respects people's First Amendment rights, but feels the city should not make space for hate.
This is not what we need in our city.
And a spokesperson for the city today did say that rentals through a third party here at the convention center is quite common. I did ask the city attorney what kind of discretion the city has in denying events here at this city-owned building. We're still working to get a response. Deborah.
Joe, now that they know who is coming to this event, are they planning more security?
Deborah, good question. I did reach out to the Raleigh Police Department today. We do know this is going to be a very big weekend for the police department. The Dreamville Festival in Dix Park. Now this controversy here at the convention center, with the potential for protests outside the convention center. So far, the police department has not yet responded to whether or not they will have increased patrols and whether they are aware of the event, which they sure are now.
They certainly are. Joe Fisher, live in Raleigh. Thanks, Joe.
Let me explain something to you. I know exactly what that's like, especially when I am putting on a gathering. Y'all don't see the things that go into putting a gathering on. Y'all don't understand all of the rejection that comes along with it. I know what them brothers went through. through to get that. But I'm going to ask Israel a question. Why in the world can we not sell out Madison Square Garden? The Mercedes-Benz. Why hasn't the world watched all of us Israelites come together? You know why? Opinions, doctrines, and egos have kept us separated. No more. No more, kings. All of Israel, I come to you again, humbly, respectfully. Let's make this happen. I'm asking Israel to please put your prayers in the air. First, your obedience, because remember, the Father is hearing none of that unless you're being obedient. I'm asking for all of your prayers to make this happen. I'm asking for all of you kings. I come to you and I say, brothers, I get it. I understand. It's very begrudging. I get it. There may be some faces in there that you don't want to see, but guess what? We're going to have to see each other anyway. How about we do it on our terms, in righteousness and in peace? We can do it. We can. All I'm asking you guys to do, you men, you kings, I'm asking you to do the one thing. Just give an answer to Israel to say, I'm willing to, or I'm not. That's all I ask. As your brother, I come to you to resolve an issue within Israel, to unite us. I'm asking for all of us to unite because the rest of the world, they're uniting. And there is a tribulation that is coming. And most importantly, our nation, the nation of Israel, they need to see us together, kings. How can we ask all of them? How can we preach to all of them, instruct them to all come together when we, as the leaders, won't come together? This is real. And we are at that point in prophecy where this is mandatory, kings. Let's do it. All it takes is for you to say yes. If y'all say yes, we can start putting this together. All of us brainstorming so that Israel can see the true image of what togetherness is like. I put that out there, brothers. Now it's on you. I truly hope y'all say yes, because I can only see how monumental it would truly, truly be for us to walk in unison in front of every last one that we are fighting for, every last one that we had the passion for to do this. Let's go back there. Let's go back. Let's go back to when you first thought about putting this idea together. Because right now we did it. The Father allowed us to see the success, and we have just been going and going and going. But we didn't stop to really look back and say, wow, look at what we created. And now that we go back and we can look and we can say, look at what we created. Now look at the people. Look at all of our family members that were humbled and they became righteous. They understood our passion. They understood where we were coming from. They supported what we do. We owe it to the nation. We owe it to them to say, we're going to get together. All of your hard work and passion, all of the things, your obedience, you're going to see the reward of the fruits that you have done. We owe that to the nation of Israel, kings. Let's give it to them. Let's give it to them. I'm going to ask you, all of Israel, do y'all want to see that? Finally, the coming together of Israelite kings. Monumental. I can't think of any other word. Stupendous. I love you, brothers. I need you, brothers. I need all of you. What do you say?
From Charlottesville to Seattle to Houston, white nationalist rallies and protests are popping up all over the country more frequently. Some end in violent clashes, especially when the anti-fascists or Antifa show up to counter-protest. Others, like this one in Houston, were not violent because there were no counter-protesters there. The rallies are generally set up by white nationalists and are attended by neo-Nazis and white supremacists and racists and bigots, all of whom show up to try and make a point. They have one general reason for doing so. They want to recruit other white people to their cause. The image these racist groups are hoping to convey is, look, join us. This is normal. We want a white America, and that idea shouldn't be shunned, but embraced by this country. In other words, these groups want to be normalized. According to several of the organizations that track hate groups, the number of people joining these hate groups is up, as are hate-related incidents. They saw a spike, especially during the election cycle of 2016. Here are a few reasons for that. Now, part of the rise in the numbers of people knowing about this and maybe wanting to join has to do with the internet. It has to do with marketing, if you will. These groups are on Facebook, they're on Twitter, they're on Reddit, they have their own websites. They are trying to get their message out any way they can, and it is working. In particular, they're looking to recruit young people, college students. There are flyers, for example, going up on campuses and other public spaces, trying to show them that this is the kind of America that they really do want to live in. In other words, the hoods are off and the button-downs are in.
We've seen white supremacists try to recruit on college campuses for years. But what's different today is there has been a velocity and a volume of these efforts that we've really never seen before.
Now, I spent some time talking to a few of these neo-Nazis and some of the white nationalists and white supremacists who are trying to get their message out. White nationalist Jared Taylor, who sat down and talked with me, said that he wasn't a racist. On the other hand, he also told me that he believed that black people are, by their very nature, less intelligent than whites.
If whites do nothing, they will be reduced to a minority in which their culture is a sideshow.
He says his online publication is more popular than it ever has been before. Then you have guys like Robert Ray, otherwise known as Asmodor. Now, he's a contributor to one of the most popular and disturbing neo-Nazi websites.
I hate the Jews because they are behind all this. And they have been doing this for 2,000 years.
The neo-Nazi website that he writes for fully endorsed Donald Trump because the people behind the website believe that Donald Trump is with them. Why do they believe that? Because of his xenophobic language during the campaign and also because of his mixed messages on what happened in Charlottesville.